Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is Delby Tarot back at you again with another video. I would like to thank each and every one of you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and donating to my channel. I really do appreciate all the love and all the support. And thank you for those of you who've been booking readings with me. It is truly appreciated, okay? So guys, your girl's Patreon channel is up and running. So if you would like to support your girl, you'll be able to find a link in the description box below. I do post 2 exclusive videos per week, so go check it out if you feel called to. So before we dive in, if you've been loving the energy here, I have created a collection of spiritual ebooks and printable workbooks to help you along your journey. From manifestation rituals to love journal prompts, these tools are designed to help you align, heal, and rise. You'll be able to find a link in the description box below or on my Patreon channel under the shop tab. So as you guys could tell by the title of this video is going to be about what lasting impression do you leave on people? So path number 1, you're going to be the Wild Reflection Tarot deck and the white agate crystal. And path number 2, you're going to be the Muse Tarot deck with the India agate crystal. So pause this video if you must and meditate on the deck or the crystal that you feel most drawn to. You'll be able to find your timestamps in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your path. Hi Path 1! Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my path number 1, you picked the Wild Reflection Tarot deck and the white agate crystal. Okay, and this is going to be your reading. So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous path or previous readings, okay? So my path number 1, what lasting impression do you leave on people? What lasting impression do you leave on people? What lasting impression do you leave on people? Ooh, we have the King of Cups. So with the King of Cups, you leave the lasting impression that you leave on people is that you are emotionally intelligent, you're emotionally wise, you're very observant, okay? You're street smart, okay? You know how to read the room. You have situational awareness, okay? So what lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the Two of Swords. You're not easily rattled with the Two of Swords, like you're unbothered. I heard you're not easily vexed, like you don't get mad or upset or like, rattled by people's like behavior. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Ooh, we have the Star. You could be an Aquarius here. Maybe your birthday is at the end of the month. With the Star energy, the lasting impression that you leave on people is that you are unique, that you are authentic. You definitely give off the vibe that the impression that you leave, the lasting impression that you leave is that you have this originality to you. You're eccentric, okay? You're definitely a breath of fresh air. People have never met somebody like you, or they can't categorize you, okay? You have this uniqueness to you, okay? So what lasting impression do you leave on people? Just one card, please. We have the Hangman. Wow, you could be a Piscean, Aquarius, cusper, okay, with the Hangman. With this energy, the lasting impression that you leave on people is that you are extremely creative. You think outside the box. You're not rigid in your thinking. And because Pisces is a mutable sign, is adaptable, creative, versatile, okay? So you definitely have this versatility to you. You think outside the box, you see things from a different perspective, but you also leave the lasting impression that you're not in a rush. You know, you're not in a hurry to get things done. You're not like skipping steps, okay? You do things in a methodical manner. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Ooh, the Nine of Swords came out in reverse. Yeah, you're not somebody who's stressed. You're mentally clear, you're mentally stable with the Nine of Swords in reverse, because the Nine of Swords upright is mental instability, because it's like reoccurring thoughts, okay? Stress, anxiety, depression. That's what the Nine of Swords represents when it's upright. But in reverse is mental clarity, stability, okay? Assurance. So this is the lasting impression that you leave on people. We have the King of Pentacles. Yeah, that you are independent, self-sufficient, reliable, and trustworthy. That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. What lasting impression do you leave on people? What lasting impression? What? Queen and King of Pentacles back to back. What? Okay, you definitely leave a lasting impression that you are marriage material or ready for marriage with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. You have your affairs, your house in order with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. But also, you leave the impression that you are probably like already married, like you just keep to yourself, like you don't really talk about your husband or your wife. Some of you are not even married, but you give off the vibe that you are married or that you're marriage material. Very poised. I heard demure, okay? Like very demure. I don't know why I'm getting that. But very poised in your energy, okay? So what lasting impression do you leave on people? Ooh, we have the Three of Wands. That you're visionary, that you're futuristic, okay? You always like you are the type of person that plans ahead. You don't procrastinate. You don't waste time. That's what I'm getting here with the Three of Wands. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Just one card, please. Ooh, Two of Cups with the Queen and the King of Pentacles. Guys, I'm telling you, people assume like the lasting impression that they get is that you are already in a relationship, that you're already taken. You come off as somebody to take seriously with the King and the Queen of Pentacles. You're not somebody to play with or to play around with, because you definitely give off the vibe of husband, wife material, even if you're not married, okay? That's the impression, the lasting impression that people have. So if you tell somebody that you're single, they're kind of having like a hard time believing that you're single, because it's like, why would somebody like this great would be single? Like that's the way that they see it. But it's like, okay, well, you're single because you're not going to settle just because you want to be married, okay? What lasting impression do you leave on people? Yeah, Two of Wands. You see, we have the Two of Wands. We have 222. This is definitely an energy of being balanced. Okay, that's the lasting impression that you leave on people. Yeah, like you're forward thinker. Okay, you make I don't know why I heard choices, or the right choices. You're definitely in alignment. That's the lasting impression that people that you leave on people. That you're somebody who walks with purpose, somebody who knows what they want out of life. Okay, and you walk with integrity, you walk with your head held high. This is what I'm getting here. What lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the Judgment card, okay? The lasting impression that you leave on people is that you're somebody who's very wise beyond your years. You have a lot of experience under your belt, okay? With the Judgment card, you've gone through obstacles and challenges and you came out on top. And that's the lasting impression that you leave on people, especially with the Judgment energy, where it's like, you're the type of person that learns from your mistakes or the mistakes of others. You're very wise, okay? There's a lot of like wealth of knowledge that you possess that you like to share with others, and that's the lasting impression that you leave on people. Wow, we have the Temperance card that flew out. Okay, so the lasting impression that you leave on people, going back to seeing that you're balanced, because we have 222 here. Two of Swords, Two of Wands, Two of Cups. So 222. You may see this number often. It could be very significant for you. It could be like a new chapter being opened for you when it comes to love, when it comes to commitment, when it comes to partnership, collaboration. But you're extremely collaborative, okay? And the lasting impression that you leave on people with the Temperance card is that you're somebody who is well balanced, somebody who is composed under pressure. You know how to roll with the punches, because now we have two mutable signs here. We have Pisces, and then we have um, uh, Sagittarius, and then something about your Jupiter placements, because if you don't know, Jupiter is Pisces' ancient ruler. Okay, so with that energy, I'm getting like you're very like people. The impression that they have is that you're lucky because things always turn in your favor. Things always land on your lap. It's like it seems like you're lucky, but it's because you are in alignment and you're optimistic. That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. No matter what you go through in life, obstacles, challenges. Obviously, you're human. Obviously, you cry. Obviously, you have moments of doubt, moments where you feel like down and out, but you don't stay there. That's the thing about you. You don't stay there. You always get back up and you always persevere, because we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. You don't stay in that energy, even though you feel anxious, maybe you feel like depressed at times, but you know how to shake it off and keep pushing, keep persevering. Maybe you pray a lot. Okay, like maybe prayer is your armor. Okay, this is what you use in order to overcome obstacles, is by praying. Okay, this is what I'm getting here. Some of you is meditation, different practices, but the results are the same. Okay, it's just like what you choose to do, which habit that you choose to do, which practice that you used to engage in. Okay, so that's all I have for you, my path number one. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, path number one. Bye. Hi, path two. Welcome to my channel. This is Stella Beauty Tarot back at you again with another video. So my path number two, you picked the Muse Tarot deck and the India Agate Crystal. Okay, and this is going to be your reading. So if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back. And if you are a newbie, oh, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the way that I like to do this is I like to smudge the cards first before we get started, so we don't pick up the energy of previous path or previous readings, okay? So my path number two. What lasting impressions do you leave on people? What lasting impression do you leave on people? What lasting impression? What lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the Hermit card. That you're introverted. You're very selective with who you are allow in your energy. You're prudent. Okay. With the Hermit card, you could be a Virgo. And I also, as I was shuffling, the Nine of Pentacles wanted to come out. So there's definitely life of luxury, self-made energy, but like, yeah, wow, we have the Lovers, Gemini energy, Magician energy, because these two are ruled by Mercury, and the Magician is Mercury energy, Mercurial energy. Yeah, with the Lovers, your values are in alignment. You stay true to yourself. That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. What they see is what they get. It's like you're the truth. Like you're not pretending. It's not like a mask that you're putting on, okay? You're authentically you. You move to the beat of your own drums, okay? And your values are in alignment with the Lovers. You make choices that are in alignment with your goals, your truth. You don't sugarcoat things. You say it like it is, okay? That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. So I feel like people seek your counsel because you speak the truth, okay? You're not going to sugarcoat things just to make people feel comfortable. It's not like you're going to say something in a harsh manner or rude or anything like that. It's not even that. It's more about like the way that you express yourself, the way that you speak the truth is not going to, it's not in a way where you make people feel small or anything like that. It's really about you telling it like it is, like the exact truth, what they need to hear. That's going to help them grow, okay? That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Wow, we have the Five of Swords. Ooh, with the Five of Swords, it's like Even though, like I said, you're not rude or anything, but you're not afraid of confrontation with the Five of Swords. It's not that you're the type of person that wants to win at all costs, but like if somebody comes at you sideways, you're not going to bow down just to make them feel comfortable. If they come with you, if they come with the heat, you're going to respond with the heat, okay? But you're just not going to respond the same way. Like if they're cussing you out, you're not going to start cussing. You're going to let them know about themselves in a very diplomatic manner, okay? Maybe some of you could be Librans here. What lasting impression do you leave on people? What do we have here? Ooh, we have the Knight of Swords, that you're mentally sharp, mentally agile. You're quick on your feet, very intelligent, very witty. Okay, with the Knight of Swords, very quick. What lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the World card. So with the World card, I'm getting that the lasting impression that you leave on people is that you're well versed. Okay, like cultured with the World card. Some of you have traveled the world. Maybe you've been to all the continents. Okay, maybe not all countries, but all continents. Okay. I heard cross country travel, maybe like especially like let's say if you're in a big country like US, Canada, where there's a lot of states or provinces. Maybe like you've been to all the provinces in your country or state, and you've been to a lot of cities, not just the province, but you've been around the province, so many cities. You're well cultured here with the World card. That's the lasting impression that people have of you. And I'm also gonna, like, some of you could be polyglots here. Maybe you speak more than one language. Maybe you speak like 4 or 5, which is very impressive. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Ooh, yeah, you're very smart, inquisitive, okay? Curious, you're always learning. You're extremely adaptable as well. Like you're open-minded. Oh my god, guys. You know that Korean guy that that does the skits that always says, "Are you open-minded?" I don't know why I started thinking about that, guys. Oh my god, some of you could be Korean here. Oh my gosh, maybe you've been to Korea or something. Oh my god, this is too much. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Wow, the Ten of Swords. Yeah, right above the Five of Swords. Ooh, like you have strong boundaries here. You're not the type of person that's going to play around. Going back to the Five of Swords, because like I said, the Five of Swords has a negative connotation to it, because it's like, win it at all costs. It's a clash of ego, but it's more mental than the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is more about, like, it could be like physical confrontation as well, verbal confrontation, but the Five of Swords is more like mental, winning at all costs, wanting to dominate another person. But you're not afraid of somebody coming at you with that energy, because you're going to match it. Like, you have time to date. Like, you know what I mean? That's the energy that you give, okay? And with the Ten of Swords, what lasting impression that you leave on people is that once you're done, once you cut off somebody, it's final. There's no do-over. There's no going back and forth. Oh, we're gonna reconcile and fight again and reconcile. No, there's no back and forth. Once you're out, you're out. What lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the Seven of Cups. You give the impression that you're somebody who has a lot of options here with the Seven of Cups. That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. So you don't have a problem leaving people where they had you messed up. Okay, you don't have a problem doing that. When somebody thinks that they could come and play in your face, you're okay with just like dropping them like a bad habit, because you don't mind being alone with the Hermit card. You're very selective with who you spend your time with. You don't have problem exploring different options. Like, you're not hell bent on someone who doesn't respect you. You're not going to do that, okay? You have options, and not just in love, in different aspect of your life, when it comes to career, friendship, okay? Like, you're flexible, okay? So what lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, reserved with the Four of Pentacles. That's the lasting impression that you leave on people. Very particular about who you allow in your space. It's not that you're closed off, but you're very particular about that. With the Four of Pentacles, it's not easy to be part of your social circle, to be part of your friend. Like, people have to earn your trust. even though sometimes they might get lonely because the hermit card could represent loneliness, but it's not a bad thing being lonely if you enjoy your company. And that's the lasting impression that you leave on people, because yeah, you're alone, but that loneliness is not heaviness for you. For you, it's like a breath of fresh air because you don't have to deal with people's nonsense, right? So, and it's also you enjoy your own company, so it's not like bad, you know. It's like loneliness is only a problem when you don't really enjoy who you're spending time with, which is yourself. And it's like that's a problem. That's where you have to work on, you know, yourself, your trauma. You have to sit with that, but you're not afraid of doing that. So what lasting impressions you leave on people? We have the Ace of Swords, that you are a truthful individual, you speak with clarity, you're mentally sharp, that yeah, your intelligence is something that people pick up on automatically. That's the impression that they get, that you're highly intelligent, because we have Virgo and we have Gemini. They're both ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, intellect, and all that good jazz. And we have the Ace of Swords, okay, communication and intellect, intelligence, okay. So with this energy, you're very sharp. That's the lasting impression that people have, that you leave on people, okay. Mental agility, mental sharpness, clarity, clear communication. What lasting impression do you leave on people? No, just one card, please. What lasting impression do you leave on people? We have the King of Cups. Yeah, emotionally intelligent, emotionally wise. Okay, street smart and book smart. Yeah, because these two together is definitely street smart and book smart. You have situational awareness. And I got that for path number one as well. What lasting impression do you leave on people? Just one card, please, Spirit. What lasting impression? Ooh, that you're confident with the Queen of Wands. You're bold, okay? You know your worth, you know your value. That's why you're not going to settle. You know that you have options with the Seven of Cups. You don't have to deal with people's nonsense, especially if they're coming to play in your face and act like you don't know your worth, or that you're not valuable, that it's not a privilege to be around you. You let people know by dropping them like a bad habit, okay? So that's all I have for you, my path number two. I hope this reading resonated. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope to see you in my next video, path number two. Bye.